Retro Ghetto.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the Retro Ghetto. I'm on the road yet again. I've come away with a fam for a few days to Somerset, and I've been typing in on my phone video games and toy shops nearby, and I found a place called Insane Games. It's in Bridgwater, I believe. So it's only a 25-minute drive from where we're staying at the moment in Burnham-on-Sea. So I'm heading there now. I know nothing about it. If you see in this video, it must be decent, so I'll see you when we get there. Okay, that was Insane Games, and this is the part where I usually say I will back in the Retro Ghetto, but I've been back for about 3 months. It was quite a while ago that I filmed that. It just never materialised into a full mainline episode here on the Retro Ghetto. There wasn't loads of footage, the shop isn't huge, and I've got a few things I want to say about the shop. I think it was overshadowed a little bit as well by Entertainment Zone, which was a shop around the corner that I stumbled upon accidentally. A crazy store to go hunting in. If you haven't watched that video, make sure you do. I'll leave a link in the description below. But what I'm going to do now is look at the things that I did pick up from Insane Games. And the first thing that I bought, I always like to start with the toys and the weird and the wonderful, was these small Bruce Lee figures. I've been a big fan of martial arts and Bruce Lee films ever since I was a child. So when I saw these, I just thought, these will be great in what was then the upcoming Retro Ghetto 3.0. I've just thrown one of the Bruces across the floor, so yeah, he's doing a flying kick. But yeah, these are great because I'm really enjoying collecting smaller action figures at the moment. Smaller toys, minifigures that I can just easily display. They don't take up too much room. I've got to do a big toy cull. There's going to be a lot of toys that don't make the cut into the Retro Ghetto 3.0. But yeah, these will be found in at home. I'm really enjoying collecting smaller figures, as I say. Can't find too much information about these. They've got no markings on, and when you go onto eBay, there's so many sort of knockoff and non-official Bruce Lee merchandise out there. But there is one set of these that was sold for roughly what I paid. I think they were about £10-ish. And the seller did put rare in the title, so they're probably worth thousands, right? But yeah, I was happy with my pickup with these. I think I paid £12. You really wanted £4 for all of them, but we're going to touch upon the prices at Insane Games a little bit later on. Okay, the next thing I picked up was Heavenly Sword on the PlayStation 3. This is a 2007 action-adventure hack-and-slash game developed by Ninja Theory. I love most hack-and-slashes, it's very much my genre of games. It came originally from my love, I think, of God of War 3. Anything that's sort of medieval or mythic within that hack-and-slash universe, I think it just works so well. And this game is stunning in terms of its visuals. For what is an early PlayStation 3 game, as I say, 2007, the graphics are very high. There's not that many games outside the PlayStation 3 that surpass it in terms of its graphical style. There was a lot of effort put into this game. When you look at the cutscenes in it and some of the voice acting, they even had Andy Serkis involved with this, who obviously lent his voice to the likes of Gollum and other characters throughout Hollywood. So yeah, they'd gone above and beyond to make sure this was, I guess, a AAA game and everything it's worth. I think when I had a quick go on this game, I'd say that the combat was a little more in-depth than I expected, a little bit more in-depth than most hack-and-slash games, because there's different stances, and then once you switch stances it does open up more movesets, and it allows you to use the Heavenly Sword in different ways. It's definitely a game I'm going to go back to. I would like to finish it. As I say, hack-and-slash for me is very much like something I can just pick up and play, don't have to put too much thought into it, and as I say, you just slash your way through hordes and hordes of enemies. It did get a little bit samey, and maybe that's why it didn't get the critical acclaim that I think the studio were hoping for. They originally penned a trilogy for the Heavenly Sword. We only got one of them, so maybe it didn't quite hit the sales numbers that they were hoping for. But yeah, this was £2.50. I mean, it's £2.50 at CEX, so yeah, bang on for where it should be. A decent pick. Right, the next game that I picked up was Ace Golf on the GameCube. I say all the time on this channel that I'm looking to boost my GameCube collection. I do enjoy playing the GameCube, and I don't have as much games for it as I would like. Like a lot of collectors, I wish I'd bought for the system a bit earlier because the prices just keep going up and up and up. This is a very cheap game. CX had this for £4. I paid £2, so it was actually under the CX value, which I'm very happy with. Ace Golf is a 2002 golf game. You know, pretty much is what it says on the tin. It's more of like a caricature style. You've got 14 playable characters, and they've all got sort of like different skills, or different strengths, different weaknesses. Some hit it harder than others, etc, etc. You know what I'm saying. I've not put loads of time into Ace Golf, I'm going to be completely honest with you, because when I was in the Retro Ghetto 2.5, I didn't have the GameCube set up as readily available as I would have liked, but now I'm in the 3.0, and I've got all my consoles hooked up at the flick of a switch. I'm definitely going to give it a go, because I do enjoy playing these kind of golf games. And to be honest, what pulled me in at the time was not only the fact it was £2, but there's a guy on the back that looks just like E Honda. Yeah, big sumo guy, and I thought, yeah, that's enough for me. That's convinced me to give this game a go. So, and another interesting thing about this game, in America it's called Swingers Golf. We've got it called Ace Golf. Maybe Swingers means something very different in America than it does to England. Or maybe everybody just throws their car keys into a bowl when you start this game. I don't know. Right, so my last and arguably favourite pickup from Insane Games was the Super Mario All-Stars VHS. This is something I've been after for some time. It seems to keep going up in value. I think I paid £10 for this, which isn't bad. It was about there or thereabouts, or maybe slightly cheaper than what eBay was selling it for at the time. And this was like a promotional tool to highlight how good Mario All-Stars is, which for me is the greatest cartridge ever made. So this was released in 1993 and it actually stars Craig Charles of Red Dwarf fame. And it's a very cheesy, very 90s watch. It's actually been uploaded to YouTube, so you don't have to buy the VHS. You can go and watch it. And it's very much of its era. But for me, the fact that I've got the Mario All-Stars console box, of course the game, and now the VHS, it just makes a nice display. And as I've said many times before on this channel, Mario All-Stars is my favourite cartridge of all time. The Mario All-Stars console itself is my most nostalgic piece that I own. Yeah, so for me it was just a nice little cherry on top of my Mario All-Stars collection.
Retro Ghetto.
Right, so that's the pickups out of the way. Now I want to give my thoughts on the store itself, Insane Games in Bridgwater. Firstly, as I always say, massive shout out to the owner for allowing me to film. I was conversing with him and he was very complimentary about some of the other local businesses. He advised me to go to a local arcade, which sadly was shut, which is always great to hear. I rarely like to say anything negative about stores when I go out and do hunts, simply because I'm a big fan of supporting local businesses. I don't like to take food off another man's plate. I appreciate this is people's living. But I'll be remiss, because I do feel a slight duty of care to you guys that are watching, to tell you the full truth. I do think, and you can probably see from some of the footage yourselves, a lot of it was a bit overpriced. One of the things I noticed as I was going back through the footage before I filmed this today was Mario Kart, for example. That was £75. I had a quick look on eBay. You can pick up a similar condition copy for like £40. And I remember when I was in there at the time trying to buy things, thinking, a lot of this is higher prices than even eBay. Having said that, as you've seen with the pickups I've had, I think I paid a good price for all of them, maybe except the Bruce Lee figures, but the games and the VHS were either there or slightly under market value. He wasn't overly willing to negotiate, which is his prerogative entirely. So yeah, I do have to say that I do think it was a little bit overpriced in my experience. Having said that, would I recommend it? Of course, I would recommend any video game and toy store. If you go and buy or you live locally, 100% pay them a visit. There's also Entertainment Zone, which as I mentioned was a fantastic shop to go and hunt in. There is a local arcade, and there's also a CX literally across the road, like facing Insane Games. Whilst I was there, I managed to find this Death Edition of Dante's Inferno. So this was in the small CEX, so that was a good find for me. I was very happy with that. So yeah, definitely check it out if you're within the local area. You might find a gem, but just be aware going in, it's not full of bargains, but hey, everyone's got bills to pay, right? Thank you all very much for joining me. This footage has been sitting on my phone for some time, so it's time I cleared some of my memory. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I've got a big challenge coming, something I've been working on for months, something I've been wanting to do on the channel for a long time. It's finally coming to fruition. It's a bit of a challenge that I've set myself. So make sure you keep it locked to the Retro Ghetto. We'll have that out very soon. But as always, play your games, keep it retro. Thanks a lot. In a bit.
Retro Ghetto.